What's going on, people?
Hey, people.
How you guys doing?
It's Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. We are Judan.
Natalie Billy.
Yeah. And thank you guys for checking out the live.
Our last 50-50 live.
Oh.
The title was 50-50.
Yeah.
It's 50-50 live.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, if you guys come across us, drop us a comment, send us a DM, say hi, say what's up. If you have any financial questions,
drop them in the chat.
Send us a DM. See if you need help, guidance, answering a question, figuring out a situation. Let us know. Hope you guys are doing awesome. Hey, and let us know where you guys are tuning in from. We from Toronto, Canada. We're dealing with
the stuff.
Yeah.
The stuff that's all over CNN.
Yeah, tariff.
The T word.
What is the T word? It's a banned word?
The T word.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are we allowed to talk about that on here?
Why not?
No, because you remember there's certain things like you can't say. So I'm like, can we say the T word? Can we say tariff?
I don't think tariff is a...
You can say that?
I think so.
I wasn't sure. I'm not saying it's a banned word.
It's a whole thing in the news now.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's talking about it.
To be honest, this is the first time that we've seen a premier of Canada or premiers of Canada on CNN. They weren't getting that kind of publicity.
What's a premier?
The premier? The person that oversees our province. The person is the head of our province.
What's the province?
The province is where we live. Like, okay, in the States, there's how much states? 50 states?
50 something.
Okay. I'm sorry if I'm off. I'm Canadian, right? So
I don't... 53?
Now listen, I don't know. I'm not going to guess on here and then someone come for us. You know how these Americans are very, think about their country.
I don't remember.
So,
hey guys, thank you guys for checking out the live.
So, like, in the States, you guys have states. In the USA... In the USA, you guys have states. In Canada, we don't have states. We have provinces. Although your president wants us to become the 51st state, is what he said.
Yeah.
You can't. Let me not.
Yeah.
Let me not. I don't want to get banned. I don't
Why?
Want my page take down.
Honestly, to be honest, I'm different. I don't see how it hurts Canada. I have a different opinion.
I have no comment.
Because I'm like, we pay way too much tax.
That's true. We pay a lot of tax.
I don't see how it hurts. I mean, most Canadians, obviously, clearly, it's a hot button topic. Feel way different than
I just want to know. What I want to know. If there's any like customs people on here, I have a question. So if I go over to do one of my Target runs, because
that's what you really care about.
Hey, I go to Target. I like one Target. So let's say I want to go to Target and buy some stuff, right? Like I usually do, right? Is it going to be a problem when I'm coming back? Or does it just depend on the custom officer that I get? Is this tariff thing going to affect me going to Target? I'm just wondering. Drop your comments in the chat.
I can't believe that's where your mind went, all this thing that's going on.
But in truth, I mean, I'm just poking kicks and giggles and poking fun at
I don't know.
But like, where's this going to go? Is this gonna affect certain industries? Who's gonna get hit the hardest with this tariff thing that's happening?
Yeah.
Right.
How do you guys feel about tariffs?
How do you guys feel about the tariffs?
Yeah.
And why do we need the tariffs? What's the purpose of the tariff? Why do we need it? Did we have it before? Like, did we have it but we didn't notice it? Like, where did this come from? Is Donald J. Trump trying to make our money? Why?
I don't know what the purpose is.
Because when we drive over there and then is it when we're coming back or when we're going? No, when we're coming back.
Mm-hmm.
We have to pay like a toll to come back into Canada. Like, is the toll is it for the US people or is it for us?
Yeah, the toll is on the US side.
Okay, why are we paying the US toll to come back to Canada?
For the bridge maintenance.
What bridge?
The bridge across.
So who does the bridge belong to?
Both countries.
But we're not paying a fee when we go over there. Why are we paying the fee when we're coming back?
Because every taxpayer in Canada is paying for it, but the US is.
But are we already paying for it, and then we have to pay for it when we come back?
It's like toll highway because it's like okay.
Okay, I don't have an issue with the toll highway thing. Like I understand that it's to like maintain the highways and whatnot.
It's the same thing.
So did we already pay for this bridge?
The bridge house need maintenance. That's like saying you pay for your house, but your house need maintenance. So it's a similar thing.
So why is Canada not charging us money for the bridge?
Because we pay so much tax already.
Oh, so we don't need to do that.
So
okay.
we pay a lot more for it than the $250 that they charge us across the border.
So I should just be grateful that we're paying the $250 alone.
Well,
then again, with this tariff thing, it might be $20. Who knows?
Yeah. So how do you guys feel about tariff? Who do you guys feel benefit or win in this whole tariff thing?
This is new. It's relatively new, so I don't have a full opinion on it yet.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it.
But I guess when I go to Target and come back, I'll have a different opinion.
I don't know how I feel about it.
You don't know how you feel?
No, I don't know how I feel about it. Because maybe if I don't know. Okay, what I will say about living in Canada, to combat this tariff thing, in Canada, the government need to remove the whole carbon tax thing. That's the only how you could help citizens. Because they don't have control over the tariff thing. So at least remove. Hey guys, thank you guys for checking out the live. How you guys are doing? Drop us a comment. Let us know where you guys are tuning in from, where you're watching from. If you guys have any
tariff related comments.
Yeah.
So the other day, we got our gas bill from the lovely people at Enbridge. I can't stand Enbridge, but it is what it is. So I take out the bill and I look at it and I'm like, whoa, because the amount on the bill was really high. And then I noticed,
and it's supposed to go up.
And then I noticed,
in
like,
April.
I never noticed that there's a carbon tax fee on the gas bill. I never noticed it because the bill was always like a certain amount or hovered at a certain amount. So I didn't really notice. And I'm like, hold on, that's an extra $100.
The carbon tax is more than the gas that you use.
I'm saying. So I'm like, wait a minute. This is $149 extra on the bill. So the bill would have been about $4 something. And then with that now it was like $6. And I was like, hold on. I'm analyzing the bill to find out why it's so high. And I saw the carbon tax. I'm like, this ain't right. This is not right.
Yeah, I have so much thing on the carbon. I have so much opinion. Canadian tax system.
It's different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting.
What I will say about Americans versus Canadians. Americans think they pay crazy tax. You guys don't.
You guys don't pay crazy tax.
You don't.
We pay tax on top of the tax.
You're not in the top 5 in the world. I don't think you guys are in the top 20 in the world on tax.
Mm-mm.
We I think number 3 in the world.
It's like we go to.
I think we're the 3rd highest tax country.
It's like when we come over to the States and we buy something and we're like, yo, that was cheap.
You pay tax on top of the tax.
We're paying tax on top of the tax, and then carbon tax on top of the tax. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah. Like today, I went to the grocery store. I bought, I think 5 or 6 items.
It's $100.
No, it wasn't. I would be fair. It's not 100. It was like $70-something. I don't think it's more than 6 items, and it wasn't. It wasn't like.
Do you remember when you used to go to the grocery store and you come up with like bags upon bags of grocery and it was like $100?
That's before Justin.
You come up with one bag.
Before Justin Trudeau.
4 items. Four items. Four items.
Yeah.
$100 and something.
So when you guys think your tax system is.
Don't cry.
Don't complain about your tax
system.
system.
Don't cry about your tax. Your tax is.
Yeah.
Your tax is not a problem. Come to Canada.
Yeah, in Canada, I think we pay 40 cents on every dollar.
Mm-hmm.
In tax.
Mm-hmm.
That's almost half your money.
Because we pay into this thing called employment insurance, right? So you pay into it, it comes out of your check. Comes out of your check every 2 weeks?
Every time you get paid.
Every time you get paid, it comes out, right? And it goes to the government. And then when you have to apply for employment insurance, let's say you lose your job or
unemployment. You say unemployment.
Okay, unemployment. You have to apply for it. And then you get it. You know they tax you on that, so that's money you put in.
You already paid tax.
You get it back. right? You get
if you ever use
if you
it.
qualify,
If you ever, yeah.
if you need to use it, they tax you on that money.
Well, it's considered income.
I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come.
Yeah. So what I do? I didn't plan to come here and talk about tax.
Okay, let's come off the tariff. Let's come off of the tariff.
What is the tariff?
We'll come
But
off of
you
the
can't
tariff.
really ignore it because
No,
it's
we're
the
not
whole,
ignoring it. It's there, but let's
it's
come
the
off
whole
of the tariff.
thing.
Let's come off of the tariff because
It's the whole thing with
tariffs
well,
and tariffing.
yeah. Yeah.
But people, if you were on here on Monday, if you're on here on Monday, we talked a little bit about we talk about budgeting, financial planning, and all kinds of fun.
So let us know in the comment, are you guys budgeting, people?
Do you budget?
Have you ever budget? Would you ever budget?
Or if you are budgeting, is your budgeting at the moment? Or is the carbon tax affecting you too?
Well, it's probably even more reason to budget.
Carbon tax. So we talked a little bit about we talked about going 50-50 on different things as within a relationship or within a union. But then we teased a little bit about our humble beginnings and how we got on this journey of budgeting. And let me take you guys back to oh my goodness, 2000 and
don't ask me.
It was people. Okay, it was like 05. It was 2005. It was 2005. And we connected ourselves with some people and they started talking about budgeting. So I would listen at these workshops about the budgeting and I would take notes and whatever. Honestly, I was just taking notes to take notes. It just looked pretty to write in the notepad. I didn't care for what this guy was saying. Jude was sucking up everything like a sponge. I was not retaining anything. I just liked the snacks on the table and the socializing. I didn't care for what the gentleman was saying, what he was talking about. So a few weeks pass and I'm at home and Jude comes home and says, we need to budget. I just looked at him like, okay, whatever. And he was like, no, Nally, seriously, we need to budget. We need to get things on track because money's going everywhere and we don't know where it's coming from, where it's going, what we're using it for. We're just spending money and like, we have to get this under control. You see how my face is right now? That's what I mean. So the people that are listening, you're not seeing it, but like I had an expression. And he was like, Nally, we have to do this. Like, we got to do this.
No, that's not what I said. I said,
you said
if you want to, I'm like, because we were talking about, like, eventually wanting to buy a house together. So, like, if you ever want to buy a house, this is how we would able to do that. Because it's like, I'm like, if we don't, then you have no idea where your money's going, where our money's going.
I think that was met with some more resistance and kiss teeth. Because I was like, okay, we get paid, right? We get paid bi-weekly. We had decent jobs at the time. We get paid every 2 weeks. What's the problem? Like the money's there. And he's like, no, yes, I agree. The money is there, but we don't know where the money is going.
Yeah.
And we need to put aside some to save and we need to do this and we need to do that. Let's just say it was like pulling teeth with me. I was not on board at all. At all.
So most people have a problem with budget, but budgeting is like it's like your game plan for your money and your life. It's like I'm a sport fan, so like I like basketball, I like football, but it's like a budget is like if you want to win the Super Bowl, you need to show up to practice. You need to make sure you're on the same page because you don't just win the Super Bowl or the NBA championship or whatever. You practice, you play the game, and then you advance, you make it. So a budget is like a game plan for your life, for your money. Because if you don't have a game plan for your life or your money, you would not like where your life end up usually at the end of the day. Because most of us, we work so hard for our money, but we never think of what happened to our money when it comes to us.
Yeah.
Like we work crazy hours to get the money that we get, and then by the time it gets to our account,
the money done.
It vanishes, it disappears.
Or it's done before you even touch the account.
And we have no idea where it goes. But at least a budget would help. I know it's like it will reveal things that you may not be. You're like, you start budgeting like, dang, then I realize, man, I spent so much on Uber Eats or Skip the Dish and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And no one's saying you can't spend money on those.
But it's just like when you kind of break it down and you're looking at where the money's going and you're like, wait a minute, hold on. I bought how much dollars worth of McDonald's?
Yeah.
Why did I do that?
Yeah.
You know?
But at least if you start putting, you're like, okay, if you eat out, no, you start putting money aside for those. So you know, hey, every paycheck, we're gonna spend X number on takeout, or we're gonna spend X number on Uber. And most people, they don't think about that, because most people, you don't lose most of your money on big things.
Yeah.
Because the big things you notice, it's the small little things. Like about a year ago, actually it's coming up on a year now. Yeah. About a year ago, I decided to start
your coffee fund?
A coffee fund. And yeah, it was around March last year I started. I never actually really published. I showed it at the beginning, but so far,
I'll tell my son most of his money goes on beer.
That's probably true. Yeah, but it's little things like that. So I started like what I call a coffee fund. Every day I work, I put $5 in an account. I put in an investment account, and year to date, it's over $1,400.
So
it's $5 a day.
So he started this fund, and because we have like accounts that are linked together, I'm at work and I'm seeing this thing chime, deposit. I'm like, what is he doing? And then one day I looked and I was like, oh wow, and that's on coffee alone.
Yeah. So instead of buying what I would use instead of buying coffee, I decided to put in an account a day just to show how much it will you will spend or whatever over time or over time.
And make the coffee at home.
Make the coffee at home.
Or make the coffee at work.
Make the coffee at work.
Now the coffee at work might not be the greatest, but it's saving you those coins.
Yeah.
It's saving those coins.
So I don't know, it's like, okay, some people maybe say, oh, that's just $5. But it adds up. It adds up, and it's the little things that usually takes most of your extra money, you spare money away, that may help you get out of debt.
Yeah.
Stay out of debt, or invest for your future.
Or you can put it towards something. Maybe you have a goal of something you want to do.
Yeah. So go on a vacation, replace a car, buy a different vehicle. So much different things.
So many different things.
But at least if you start budgeting,
it'll help.
It will help
in the long run.
You realize where all the extra money is going and what can you do about it.
Yeah.
Maybe instead of buying coffee 5 days a week, you buy once a week. Or at least if you're doing a budget, like, okay, if you buy coffee, then you know, okay, I'm going to budget. I'm going to put a section in my budget for coffee because I like X number of coffee.
Yeah.
You may like Starbucks coffee, but you could only afford Dunkin' Donuts. Or Tim Hortons. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you start the budget, you start realizing, hey, I can afford Starbucks coffee. I got to drink Dunkin' or Tim Hortons.
Yeah.
So things like that is what a budget helps you do. And
start off with small things.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like a huge thing right away. Just start with something small. When we started the journey, there was a show that we used to watch, and I'm not sure. I don't think it airs in the States, but I think it does. It was called Till Death Do Us Part. Till Death Do You Part. And this woman named Gail Van Axley was the host. And the show focused on people who were in massive debt with like all kinds of nonsense, like credit cards, expensive cars, taking trips, throwing parties, going to parties, buying luxury like handbags, all kind of crazy crap. And she had to come in and help them clean up their credit, or start a budget and clean up their credit. And she would come in and she would go through like, what are your non-negotiables, like things that you have to have.
Yeah.
So your non-negotiables are things like your utilities, because you need water, light, gas, your rent,
or your mortgage,
your mortgage. If you got to put your car insurance, you got to put gas in the car. Grocery. If you're a person that has to get certain type of grooming done, like you got to get your hair done, get a haircut, certain things that went into the list of things. Then you had to look at your income. So everything after taxes. So after taxes, what was left?
What comes into your bank account?
What goes in the account? And those things were then plugged into each section. And then you had a total at the end. So your total now you had to subtract from the amount you were making. And then what was left now either went in towards your savings or went towards paying down the debt, right? That was it,
yes.
paying down the debt.
Yes.
There were some people who executed it well, and there were some people who I couldn't tell you where they are right now.
And to be honest,
But go ahead.
most people is not going to be good at budgeting when you start.
But
Like
you
it's
don't
going
have
to
to be
take
good.
you like 3 to 6 months to get it
into a rhythm.
to a rhythm and to get it to where you want it or where you're comfortable with it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with most people, they will start a budget and they'll get frustrated. They expect it to work within a
Like
month.
that.
If you're changing some behaviors, it's never gonna just happen overnight.
No.
And it's gonna take time. You're gonna blow it, but then you start learning. Okay, where am I blowing it? What am I doing?
Yeah.
And those kind of things. So like we've been budgeting for like 20 years now. So we at a stage where we almost everything we able to predict or have something that put aside for that category because we've been doing it so long. But there's a lot of time where we had to take from this.
We had to take from this
here,
section
take from
and
there,
put it into that one
because we didn't foresee that thing happening.
So in the show the money, like, because it was back then, no one was really like, people weren't really tapping and all that back then. It was like cash, like people were tapping
the envelope,
but it was
system kind of
cash.
thing,
It was cash. So she had jars. That was the way the lady on the
Mm-hmm.
show set it up, with jars. But we didn't have time with jars. We didn't want glassware. We had cats and everything, so we didn't want glass. So we had envelopes, and we would use 2-sided tape, and we would put the envelopes on the wall. And each envelope was labeled for what the cash was for. So donations, movies. It was different things.
Yeah.
And then eventually Jude came home with a whiteboard. And we drilled it up and we put it up on the wall. And we had the dry ease markers, and we had to write in like the income, my check 1, check 2, the amount, and then all the different things we had to pay. And then we had a subcategory of this is where the savings was going. But we still had the envelopes, and the cash was still going into things. So when we knew we had to go to the movies, we could draw from that envelope to go to the movies. Now we were a little frugal now. Well, actually he was frugal, I wasn't. We're going to the movies. So what he would do, he was working for a delivery company at the time that delivered cleaning products. So there was a place he'd go to, and they had a cash and carry place where you could get the same drinks you were getting at the movie theater. You could get a whole case of it at this place, and it was cheaper. So I like the Arizona iced teas. I love those, the ones in the can, not the ones in the bottle, the OG, the ones in the can. And he would go to this place and buy a case of those Arizona iced teas for me. And he would buy a case of the fruit drink that he liked. And people, when I say this man would go to the grocery store and buy them big Ziploc bags and put the popcorn in the bag. Oh yeah, pour it into the Ziploc bag. And then take his fruit drink and my Arizona iced tea and throw it in my Coach purse.
Yep.
And say, we're not buying any popcorn. We're going to buy our ticket, we're going to watch the movie, and we're going to eat this popcorn out of this Coach bag.
Those was the days.
I'm like, Jude, really?
Yeah, and it was like quarter the price of the movie theater.
It was cheap. Come buy. Up here we have in Canada we have, can I speak for Ontario? Or across Canada, No Frills. There's Loblaws, No Frills.
Yeah, No Frills is across
So
Canada.
we would go to No Frills and we would buy the no name, not name brand, no name, sweet and salty popcorn.
Yeah.
And that would go in one of them big Ziploc bags that would go in my Coach bag with the 2 drinks.
Yeah, you can't carry the popcorn bag because you're gonna make too much sound in the theater.
Too much noise.
So
And see us both hands in my bag. It was hilarious. I mean, I was so miserable about this because I'm like, but I want the warm popcorn from over there. And Jude's like, you want to live in a house or you want to keep living here? And I'm like, okay, I digress.
Yes. Do you want to live in a house? Do you want to live in a house or you want warm popcorn?
Like,
you can't have both.
I would eat the cold popcorn out of my Coach bag. But that was just, I mean, the popcorn, it's a petty thing. It's a small thing. But like, eventually it moved to other things.
But that's the thing, though, with budgeting. Small things lead into big things because now you start paying attention to that, and then you start paying attention
to detail,
to bigger things. And then as I said at the beginning, what you realize over time, all those things accumulate.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Most people blow their budget or think a lot of money on the
little
small
things. Yeah.
little things. Like you stop and you put gas in your car, you buy a chocolate bar, you buy a lotto ticket.
I can't afford that.
By the time you realize,
I can't afford that now.
it's like $20.
Yeah. So like I would get up in the morning and I would pull myself together and I'd get dressed and glammed up and I'd go to work. But my stomach was on empty. I'm hungry. I would stop at the Tim Hortons. The lady in there knew me by name when I walked in. She knew exactly what I wanted every morning. It was a sausage muffin, a sausage on a what was it? English muffin, lightly toasted with sausage and a hash brown and an extra large peppermint tea, 2 sugars. I didn't even have to say anything. It was just like she saw me coming and they'd start putting it together and it would be right at the counter every morning. And that would cost about what, $6 or $7 every morning. I didn't think anything of it. I went in, boom, tapped my card, paid for my food every morning. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, health-wise, I had to stop. But then I'm at home. Like I left my house to go to work. I can make tea here. We have the same tea. So I bought all these cups. These, not Stanley, because I don't have Stanley. I have Landley money. I got a few of those cups. And I would make my tea, warm up everything, put it together in my cup, throw it in my bag. I get my lemon water, throw that in my bag. And I have hash browns here. Throw it in the air fryer. So I can get 2 bags of hash browns for like $9. And it has like, I think 20 hash browns in each bag. I just throw it in the air fryer every morning. Or make the sausage and the English muffin because it's not good for me anymore. But I do the hash browns. Sometimes I do muffins. Sometimes I do other things. Sometimes I'll do like toast or whatever. And I just put it between some wax paper, parchment paper, and I'm out the door. I don't spend anything anymore. I make the tea from here. Or we have breakfast at work. They come around with muffins and different things. So if I want something, I just grab it and free of charge. I'm not spending anything extra.
Because and that's the thing with like things like something like that, like breakfast. Most people eat breakfast, so you're gonna eat breakfast. Yeah, if you're a breakfast person, all you do, you go to the grocery store and plan.
You buy the things that you like to eat.
Yeah, because to be honest, I'm like, you're saving time because it's
you still
probably
about the
same time because you still have to stop
to make it for you.
And sometimes they line up.
Yeah, I mean, I had Mei Ling. Shout out to Mei Ling. I had Mei Ling. That Mei Ling had my breakfast ready every morning. But I mean, realistically, it was like when you add up all the money at the end of the week, just the end of the week, you're
over time, that's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And like I said, that could be the difference from you getting out of debt, staying out of debt, paying a bill, those kind of things.
Yeah.
Getting ahead, staying ahead, not worrying about, do I have enough to pay my light bill or my insurance for the next.
But I have enough to have the English muffin.
But but then when you do the math over time, that could have been a light bill or your insurance and those kind of things. So those are the things that budget help you realize. And no one saying you can't have a breakfast, but at least if you put it in a budget, if I allocate, let's say $20 a week to spend on breakfast.
Yeah.
Once the $20 done, it's done. It's done until the next paycheck.
You can't buy any more breakfast.
Until the next paycheck. So things like that. Because most people, when you tell them about budgeting, they think, that means I can't do this or I can't do that.
No, you can.
You can.
But you just have to be...
It's just control now.
Right.
It's just, you control it and you are aware of it. So you know when that section of that money done, that's done.
Yeah.
Because then that means you got to take from somewhere else to supplement that.
Yeah.
So you have, if you decide you're buying takeout, then hey, we're gonna spend $20 a week on takeout, $40 a week. When it's done, it's done until the next paycheck.
Time.
That's what a budget will help you, and it will create a situation where you less have to borrow on credit card and those things to buy things like food that you need.
Yeah.
You need food, so you should put money aside for food. So if you're in a food budget and you're like, hey, I want to use part of my food budget for takeout, then you know
that's within the food budget.
that's within the food budget.
Yeah.
And those kind. So those are some of the simple things that the budget helps you. And like let's say, and if you have a goal like we had back then to be homeowners, that's what propel us and help us
and clear off debts
and
clear off debts, because
get out of debt.
When I came into the marriage with debt. I came in with some debt. Got my first credit card at 18. No one told me how to use the credit card. But that's a whole nother story. We can talk about credit the next time.
We'll talk about credit card.
But it's just like we had a goal from what we were doing. So it was like paying off the debts, saving for this, saving for that. So like everybody celebrate, Christmas, birthdays, anniversaries, all these things. There's a budget for that. There's a section for that. It sounds crazy, but there's a section for it.
Because the thing things like that happen every year at the same time. Birthday happens same time every year. Christmas happens same time every year. Yeah. So it shouldn't catch you off. It shouldn't catch you by surprise. Yeah. So if you know you have 4 kids and you're on a husband and wife,
you gotta start budgeting.
You know, okay, if you that's a birthday for six people. For 6 people, so you know you start putting money in the budget because you know
putting some aside.
This person's birthday is this time of the year, so you start putting things aside.
Yeah.
Instead of
I'm gonna
have
to take some money out of this and slap the credit card down. You know.
And next thing you know, you're paying for last year's birthday still this year. And the cycle continues again. Once you get into it, it's hard to break.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's hard to break.
Yeah.
So you know, hey, Christmas happens same time of the year. If we are Christmas celebrating family, we put X number. You may not get the big lavish
what you want
gift, but you get something.
Yeah.
Because hey, mommy and daddy's trying to get out of debt.
Yeah.
Or trying to be a homeowner, whatever your goal is. But one of the main thing is try to have goals. So you see you're working towards something. There's something at the end of the road.
Yeah.
There's a light at the end of the road, other than you just budgeting, just a budget. Because most people, they would fail. You would fail at it if you don't have a goal.
You need a goal.
Yeah, either your goal is homeownership or becoming debt free or going on a vacation
or you're planning for retirement.
Have a goal and know, hey, that's my goal. And you look at it every few weeks, every paycheck, and then you go from there, you work from there. Because when the days when you feel like you should just stop budgeting,
you feel defeated.
You remember what's your goal and what you're trying to accomplish.
That's gonna keep you going.
That's gonna keep you going and stay on track.
Because we like to, if you're on Jude B. Billy's page, you'll notice that he's always somewhere. Or from time to time, he'll post stuff and we're somewhere else. Either we're on a trail or we're in a different city or we're doing something. My daughter and I like hotels. We like hotels. Jude is very frugal when it comes to hotels. And we had some challenges with some hotels that we stayed in that were underpriced. So my daughter and I decided that we were going to create a subcategory in the budget called Good Hotel Fund. And she will give me $10 and I will put it on the fund. She's only 11. We put it on the fund. Every time I get paid, I put $20, $25 on there. And it's coming along nicely. And then I noticed that Jude put some in the fund as well, because he probably feels the same way we do about the not so pretty hotels. But I mean, that's just one of those silly things. But when we initially wanted to go somewhere for New Year's and we were looking at the price of hotels, and then throughout the year we do things, and the price of these things are up there. So we decided we're gonna create something in the budget for that, and it's just one of those things that we do. And like I said, when the budgeting proposal came to me in the humble beginnings, I was not on board. I was not. I'm like, we got the money, why just spend it? What are we really doing this for? And then Jude put that option on the table to say, this is what and we weren't even married yet. He put this on the table. And then eventually the fund started to build. And then the next question was, well, there's the wedding and there's the house. But that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah.
But people, just try it. Just try it. If you're not doing it, just try it. Just try it with something. Like I said, for me, it was the buying the breakfast every morning, and him was buying the coffee, and then eventually it merged into a birthday fund, a vacation fund, a car fund. Like he needed a new vehicle. Well, not a new vehicle, but a
new to
him vehicle, and we were able to pull from that car budget to get him a newer vehicle. I want a Cybertruck, but the best Cybertruck I can get would be off Temu.
Yeah, I get a Temu Cybertruck.
He'll get me a Temu Cybertruck because I'm not getting a actual Cybertruck.
So let's wrap it up. We'll continue the conversation.
I will end with this: budget.
Yeah,
budget,
and just start.
Just start somewhere.
Don't worry about perfection. Yeah. Just start.
And if you need some clarification on how to begin a budget, or
leave us a comment.
Send us a comment. Send us a DM.
If we can help guide, we'll help guide.
Let us know, and we'll guide you as best that we can.
Yeah.
To start the budget on pen and paper. It's not gonna cost you anything.
Yeah.
You could get a piece of paper and just stick it up on the wall and just write what you need to write. If you got a whiteboard, if you're tech savvy and you want to create a spreadsheet on your device, you could do that. There's so many options now. Before we were just doing whiteboards and envelopes.
Yeah.
And now it's evolved to we can do it on our phone now.
Yeah. No, so there's apps.
There's apps for that. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So just try it. Just try it. It doesn't hurt.
Yeah. It won't hurt. That's all it won't hurt. It'll be better. You'll be better for it in the future, in the long run.
Yeah.
All right. So feel free to send us a DM, leave us a comment if you have any question. And once again, we are Judan,
Natalie, Billy.